Shalom. First off, when I start up by saying, all praises, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. That's all praises to the world cause God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahushai being the name of the only begotten Son. I also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, preaching word and truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazabah in the Great Millstone, Arizona camp. Lord will, with another video to edify. And I want to go on to this topic of MOTB, right? And when you look at this is from a book. Forgot the author on it, but it's Technocracy and the Hard Road to World Order. And basically, technocracy, crassy meaning government, techno going into technology. But the way they describe, and when you look it up now, it looks like they changed the definition. But the definition that they say now is now they're using experts in a specific field to give you the governance for how things are going. And that's exactly what Esau does, man. He pulls out all these experts, despite what you believe, despite what you know, despite the information that you've seen. The experts say this, so this is how it's going to go. And this is how Esau's going to try to rule this world, through much oppression, right? When you go into the mark of the beast, when you go into RFID implantable technology, when you go into CBDCs, when you go into what is it? EVS scores, I believe that's ESG scores, right? ESG or EVS, I forget exactly which one it is. When you go to ESG scores and ESF scores, right? ESV scores, I mean, basically it's quantifying everything. And the only way you get any benefits is if you lock into that system. And they're going to make it extremely difficult for you to be able to get around any other way. Right, so this is when you go to the book of Revelation. And let me put it in a pop-up. When you go to the book of Revelation, right? When you go to the 16th verse, it says 13 and 16, Salakia. Book of Revelation 13 and 16, and causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads. Right, that mark goes into the RFID implantable microchip and technology, man. Right, there's a lot of people that don't want to believe it, that the Bible speaks about these things, but it really does. Right, no, that's not what I want. Let me 1 second. I gotta go into these root words, because ultimately what Esau's getting ready to do is oppress the people on such a heavy scale that it's gonna surprise so many people that this devil could be so evil, right? So when you go to Revelation 13 and 16, you go to the blue letter, right? And you start going into these words. Right, you go into that word mark. Like you. It goes into the word charagma, right? Which means what? A stamp, an imprinted mark, right? The engraved, sculpted, graven work. And so when they grave into you, they're putting that number into you, that system into you. That's what that RFID microchip is, man. It's to give you access to that system. It's to brand you with a code to give you identity within that system, right? But when you go into these root words, this is where you actually see how deep this thing goes. When you go into the root word for charagma, it goes to the Greek word charax, which means it says root word, it says from Carazo to sharpen to a point. Right? It says a pel or stake, a palisade going into delivery system, which is that syringe that comes to a point. But when you go further into the root word for Karax, it goes right here to the word grapho, which goes into the actual, which goes into the system that they're talking about. Being able to quantify everything, being able to tell you everywhere that this money's gone, being able to tell you how much money you spend, how much carbon footprints you emit, right? Being able to curb carbon emissions through people is what? It's through this grapho. It goes into the, not only it goes into the physical thing, but it goes into the system behind it. Now, when you go to the word grapho, it means to write with reference to letters. It says to delineate. Now I'm gonna keep going. It says to write with reference to the contents of the writing, to express in written characters, right? Code. To commit to writing things not to be forgotten, write down and record, which goes into what? That goes into the entire system of blockchain technologies is to always keep 100% record of everything, right? And this is an extremely oppressive system, right? So get that in a full screen. Let's get into this, man. Because this is what Esau planned. This is what his plan is. He wants to have everybody under his beck and call, right? Nobody gets a free choice. Not in his system. Not what he wants to do. This is Obadiah 1. Right? 14. It says, neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. No, that's not right. 1 and 4. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down. And this is what Esau's doing. This is because through this, he's going to be able to call himself a god. Right? 2 Thessalonians 2. This is how he's trying to become a god. Because he wants to rule everything. Right? Whoso, it says, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God. Right? Talking about the son of perdition. Or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High. Right? Showing himself that he is God. And this is how he's going to do it. Right? As he's going to become, he's trying to put himself up to be a technological God. To where he's the one that issues out things. He's the one that quantifies your life. He can tell who you've been talking to, who you were with, where you are at all times, how much you get. He's the one that feeds. He's the one that allows wealth. Right? This is an extremely oppressive system that this devil's trying to come out. And his Godhead comes from oppression. Psalms 73 and 6. It says, therefore pride compasseth him about as a chain, and violence covereth him as a garment. And this is what he's doing, because he's doing all these things with the mindset of that he's going to get away with it. Right? So what? Pride is just compassing him about. It says their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than the heart could wish. And through him doing this, he's just trying to shut down everything to take all goods. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Right? That's what they say. The World Economic Forum, the whole Great Reset, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Because what? He's going to be the one to sit here and quantify everything. He's going to be the one to look at everything and say, no, you don't get this. This is ours. They are corrupt and speak weakly concerning oppression. They speak loftily, because in their eyes, this is what the people need. To be fully oppressed, to have nothing. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore, his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. Right? These devils are fully setting this plan, and they speaking loftily concerning this oppression. That they're able to legit talk about policies that are going to be fully oppressive and just walk about their days. They're able to go through countries, fly through, have extremely easy travels, go through a country while they're sitting there talking about you're having nothing, you'll be happy. Here it is, they're talking about carbon emissions and how much carbon emission each person does. But these are the same people that ride on private jets, fly frequently, like every week type thing. Every week type thing. They do the most travel. They have the biggest carbon footprints, but they're talking about yours. Right? These are the same people that are saying that you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Boy, they own a shit ton now. Right? 2 Ezra 11. And it's going to be amazing how this devil does this. But at the end of the day, the Lord is going to cut him off. This is 2 Ezra 11 and 39. It says, art thou it that remainest of the four beasts whom I made to reign in my world? Who the four beasts going back to? It's going back into the book of Daniel's, right? It says that that the end of their times might come through them. It says the fourth. It says in the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past. Who was the fourth that came and overcame all the beasts of the past? The Roman Empire. It says and had power over the whole world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. This is talking about the Roman Empire, and the Roman Empire rebirth going through America. It says, and that so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. So these devils are going to get down with much wicked oppression. In this whole system, there's niggas that are actually sitting there looking at this like, oh man, this is going to be kind of a good system, right? This is why the Lord tells you not to trust in oppression, because what you're looking at is an oppressive system and people don't even understand how bad it can actually get. Psalm 62 and 10. It says, trust not in oppression and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not thy heart upon them. And people fully trust in this oppression. They look at the system and they say, there's people sitting there saying now that would they take a chip in their body and saying, hey, I think it was like 50% of people said that they consider it. You don't understand how far these things go. This whole, Esau setting up so much legislation now to fully oppress and put people in these binds. This is why the scriptures say that if you consent unto them, you're going to be had in derision, right? We're in a time now where you're going to have to resist even if it's unto death, right? But that technological rule, these devils are going to try to put this out. They're the experts. They tell you what you can get. They tell you what you need, right? They're going to tell you that you can't have sex because your sex is emitting too much carbon emissions. Why these people are freaking out for themselves in a damn Bohemian Grove each year. This is that system, right? Shalom.